Today we're going to, on our test drive, we're going to introduce you to two different types of cruise control this vehicle has to offer. One that has adaptive cruise control. So you've used cruise control in a normal car, right? So do you kind of have to hit the brakes, slow down, reset your speeds and all? Well, what they've done with the adaptive cruise control in this vehicle is it uses a radar in the front of the vehicle to look at speeds that you're doing compared to the cars in front of you.
Okay.
So for instance, if you're running 75 miles an hour and you run into slower traffic, your car is going to slow down and keep a distance between you and the car in front of you.
Okay.
If that car happens to move over or you switch lanes, it's going to go back up to the set cruise speed that you had.
Okay.
The second part of this is called Super Cruise. Okay. Now Super Cruise uses a LiDAR mapping.
Okay.
So it is a laser mapping of the road that it does. So once we get up to speed, and if you're on a divided highway and there's on-ramps on that freeway, this vehicle will actually self-drive for you.
Okay.
Is this something you think you'd like to try today?
I think so.
Okay, well let's go get started.
Right.
Okay, now what we're doing, now that we're here on the interstate, we want you to go ahead and set your cruise control. If you don't mind, go ahead and set your cruise.
Set.
Okay, so now we have the regular cruise set and the adaptive cruise. Remember, it's going to keep your distances. You don't have to touch the gas or the brake. Right now, you're taking care of the steering. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to hit the Super Cruise button right in the middle, and we're going to watch the steering wheel. Now line it up in the middle of your lane. We're going to wait for it to turn green. As soon as it turns green, let go of the steering wheel. The car is driving. No gas, no brakes. It's doing all the steering. We have a small corner coming up here.
Oh my gosh, this is making me sick.
Just watch it. What are your thoughts?
I just want to grab the steering wheel.
Okay. Fix your hair, do something, relax.
Okay, can I close my eyes?
Actually,
No,
you
you
can't.
can't.
Because, good point. So right in front of you on the center column there, this little light here has a face recognition camera and software, just like your new phones do. So it's making sure you're paying attention. So while it's driving, kind of look at me for a moment. Look away. Okay? Keep looking at me. It's driving, I promise you.
Okay.
Keep looking at me. Keep looking. And what it's going to do, it's
Oh
going to warn you if you look away too long.
Like that blinking?
And it's going to start to blink the steering wheel. The next step would be is it would start dinging and vibrating your seat.
So if you fall asleep.
So if you would fall asleep, get sick or ill or pass out, what the car is designed to do, if that is the case, and it knows that you're not aware of what's going on, the car will come to a gradual stop while putting on its hazard lights. Hopefully traffic builds up behind you. And when it comes to the stop, it's going to call OnStar and the authorities. Not sure about that.
Still not driving.
Right. So now, let's say we want to bump up our speed a little bit. We're going to let the adaptive kick in. So what we're going to do is we bumped it to 75. We're going to catch the vehicles in front of us. The car is still driving. And then it will slow down to mimic the speed of the truck in front of us once we catch it. So once again, no input from me. No gas pedal, no brake pedal, no steering.
My foot is hovering over.
It doesn't need to hover. It's taking a second, but are you starting to relax a little bit more?
Yeah. Yes. I should do that for the camera. I'm relaxed.
How good of a job is it doing?
That's great. Actually.
Look at the center. Seriously, when I said I wasn't making fun telling you that it would drive better than you will, because this has been LiDAR mapped by laser radar, and it's keeping you in the center of the lane. Okay. So if you wanted to switch lanes, let's go ahead and switch lanes. You'll have to take control to switch lanes though. No, you won't. Don't hit the gas or the brake. Just switch lanes, pulling behind the truck. Watch what happens. So it's going to slow down for us automatically, center the back into your lane. It turned green, now you can let go. Now it's going to follow this truck. So when you do make lane changes, you do have to take control to make lane changes or depart the interstate. But while you're on the freeway, so for instance, we could drive down all the way down 321. When we get close to Gastonia, where the roads start coming into it, there's no on-ramps, it's going to tell you to take back control. You would take a right on the 85 south heading towards Atlanta, set the cruise, and it would drive you all the way to Atlanta without gas, brake, or steering. What's your thoughts now?
That's crazy. Crazy. It's good. I feel very comfortable.
Are you seriously? But
I really.
what
does that mean?
It was telling you to
stop talking and look at the road.
So, well, we can take this exit, and we'll turn it on coming the other way. Because the adaptive cruise was still there.
Oh.
I think you're okay my way. This technology is beyond anything. So now when everybody talks about self-driving cars, the future's here. And it's going to get better. Here's some, I think it's by 2020, all your higher end Cadillacs will have this technology available.
Wow.
I think it's 2021 or 2022, it'll start rolling down to the other brands.
And you said this can park?
This can self-park. And it uses a different type of sensor, but it works your steering in every way the same as the way the Super Cruise does. So at this point, you can hit resume. Yep. So the adaptive's going to take control and it's going to accelerate for you. And then once it pulls in behind the car, it's going to adjust speed accordingly. Okay. So as you're pulling in behind this vehicle in front of us, see how it's slowing down to match the speed without any input from you. So at this point, we can hit the Super Cruise as soon as you get into the lane. So let's press the Super Cruise button. Steering wheel's green, you're centered. Let it take over. We can give little high fives as we're driving.
That's crazy. I'm still lowering it
just in case. But just think it, once you get used to the system and you have faith in it, like we're doing, could you not see how this would be so much simpler on a long trip?
Yes.
I've said, how relaxed
Very
would you be
relaxed.
when you show up?
Much more.
You could have a little bit more interaction with the people that's going over. You're still paying attention. You know what's going on around you because the car makes you pay attention.
Yeah.
But it's taking all of the fatigue work away from you at this point.
You have a snack.
Have a snack. Hey, maybe check a text, which you're not supposed to. Just kidding. We can do that hands-free. Okay? But, you know, there's little things we can take in a little bit more of what we're doing.
Yeah. Love it.
So when the car comes to a part in the freeway where it's not equipped to drive, remember, because of the on-ramps and the divided highway here, the car is going to come back and it's going to tell you to take control in your instrument cluster back over the vehicle.
What is an instrument cluster?
This is your instrument cluster. I'm sorry, it's called a driver information center and instrument cluster. So, however you would like to call it, but it's driver information.
Got it.
Now, once again, if you want to switch lanes, you have to take control to switch lanes. Center it back into your lane. The steering wheel is blue because it knows you have control. As soon as it's centered, it turns green. That's your cue to let go.
That's nuts.
So we're coming up on the cars in front of us. The adaptive is what keeps your distance.
Yep.
Remember, we have a button here that we can adjust the gap that we want to be notified in. If you're driving in very heavy traffic in bigger cities, if you leave too much of a gap between you, people will have a tendency to pull in. so you can shorten your gap. On normal trips and normal roads, you want the gap to be further away. It's a safer driving. So how did it do in these last couple of turns we went through?
Great. I feel very confident. Right now, it's good.
I think there would be a lot less accidents with cars that are doing this.
So,
Because it keeps you more calm. You're not worried about getting around or change, because hey, you don't have to put a lot of input into it.
yeah.
You're relaxed. You're still paying attention.
So I'm going to take control.
Okay.
I'm going to get off here.
That's where you'd like to. So the adaptive cruise is still on.
Ooh.
So it's going to accelerate. At this point you hit the brake and it'll slow down, and now everything's back to a normal driving position.